on here because you've heard about the ability to generate some additional income. Now, by the time I got gas today and I went by and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get me a matcha. And the matcha at the coffee shop was $7. I'm like, between gas and a matcha, and if you go get groceries, you almost have to have a finance plan. You have to put down payment and make monthly installments. It's crazy how the prices are going up so fast. And so there's a lot of people that are looking to generate additional income. Some people are looking to replace their income. Some people are like, look, I'm sick and tired of going to maybe a job that I don't like. And I would love to be able to find something I can't wait to get up every morning and go to work and do. There are other people that go, look, I love what I do. I'm a teacher. I love working with children, whatever it may be. I love impacting the community, but yet I would love to do it because I want to, not because I have to. We're going to hit on that very briefly. Some of you are on because you're like, you know what? I make a lot of money, but I would love to impact not only my community, but I'd love to impact the world, but I've just never had the right vehicle. So we're going to talk about that briefly. And then some of you are like many of you, there's been so many times in my life where I knew that I was not living to my full potential. I knew that there was something more. And you don't have to believe what I believe, but I do believe that we're made in the image of our creator. We're created for success. And then the world wants to program us for failure. They want to talk more about our limitations than our possibilities. So what I'm going to do in the next few minutes is kind of talk to you about all of that. Then you can get back to the person that invited you. And if you like what you see, they can get you some more information. Or you can just absolutely sign up for a free account. Okay, with their Connect community, you can sign up for a free account. So here's kind of what happened with me. They don't teach us in school, and let me know this I can see you guys that are on camera. Thank you for turning on your camera if you can. So I'd love for you to engage with me. It's on mute, but how many of you agree that it would have been really nice if someone, when we were in school, had a class that said, hey, listen, here's how you position yourself in front of an opportunity to benefit from that next big trend, to find out what's the next big disruption in what industry. They don't teach us that. How many of us would have loved to have had that class? All of us. And what I've learned from my experience, a mentor taught me a long time ago, said, look, Darren, opportunities come in three phases. Number one, they're ridiculed. Number two, no, I'm sorry, they're ridiculed. Yeah. Number two, they're violently opposed. And then number three, I don't know where the balloons just came from, but hey, let's celebrate. They're so ridiculed, violently opposed, then self-evident, but only 3% get involved in the first two most profitable phases, which is ridiculed and opposed. Let's think about this one scenario. All right, so I'm looking at a few of you right now. We got Britt. I can see, who else can I see? I can see Sheila. I can see Fred. Imagine if I went to you and I see Lisa up there, and I go, hey, listen, you know how they told us never to get into a car with a stranger? You know how we were raised and they go, never let a stranger get into your car? Well, I've got this amazing business idea where we want to pay people, right, to get in that. We don't let people pay us to jump in our car, a complete stranger. Or you can pay to jump in a stranger's car. You would have said, Darren, you've lost your mind. That is the stupidest business model I've ever heard of. It goes against everything we've been taught our entire life. Welcome to Uber. Now, knowing what we know, how many of us would have loved to have been positioned in the beginning of Uber? All of us. And then if you go, hey, I've got a better business model or one just as good. What if we allow strangers to come stay in your home? That's called Airbnb. So what's really fascinating is the number one taxi service in the world does not own one car. The number one hotel, basically, provider owns no buildings. And then when you look at YouTube, the largest media provider owns no media. They use other people's media. Facebook, the largest content provider, owns no content. It's everybody else's content. So what I've learned from my experience is when someone presents me with something, if I immediately go, hey, you know what? I don't understand that. I don't think that's ever going to work. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. That's when I should pay attention, because most likely it's ridiculed and it's opposed. But once everybody gets it, the opportunity is over. Imagine being the first person that when they talked about cell phones in the late 80s, and they go, hey, you know what? I've got this amazing phone that we're going to sell to you for several $1,000s, Sheila. And here's the, well, why would I want to buy a several $1,000 phone that's as big as a backpack and lug it in my car? Well, Sheila, the great thing is it's several dollars a minute. It's very expensive. Well, why would I want to? So the reception must be great. Is that correct, Darren? No, no. It's the opposite, Sheila. There's very few cell phone towers. And so what you're going to do is you're going to pay thousands of dollars for a big old clunky phone to put in your car, and the reception is terrible, and it's going to cost you several dollars a minute. You would have said, Darren, you've lost your mind. It's never going to work. But the people that got positioned then made a lot of money. Now everyone knows what it is. Everybody understands it. You don't have to sell people on it. The opportunity does not exist like it did back then. So vision is truly seeing it before the masses see it. So when Tony, a great friend of mine, called me in 2021, it was 8/23/21. Still have it on my phone. I'm not deleting it because I want it to be a reminder. And Tony said, Darren, when I call people, he has a gift of knowing, having a really good vision of what's coming. And I knew Tony was doing well. I didn't know how well. But when he left me that message back 8/23/21, my mom was sick. She ended up passing away. I didn't call him back. And he goes, Darren, when I call you, when I call anyone, I don't call you unless I believe in it. And if I believe in it, I believe that I'm offering you opportunity or regret. I don't say that out loud. That would be rude, but that's what I'm offering you. And when I didn't call him back, I chose regret because he was telling me about the accounting firm that he launched that in the next 24 months did $10 billion. And the friends of his that I know that said yes to that, the next 2 years made $50 to $100 million each year. And I didn't return his phone call. So when I found out he had the accounting, I knew Tony was doing well, didn't know how well. He has a credit card processing company doing several billion a year. He has a delivery company that they launched back in, I think it was 2016 or so. And he goes, look, we're going to launch this company with the intention of selling to DoorDash or Uber Eats. They ended up merging with Delivery.com, an Inc. 500 company. And then he's now the #1 franchisee in the world with Delivery.com, and on and on. So when he called me back months ago and said, Darren, I'm getting ready to fly to Utah, and I'm going to meet with the #1 level 1 blockchain guy in the world. They're the ones that helped start Gala Games and Farmville. They did 10 billion. And do you want to fly with me? We're talking about nodes and blockchain. I was embarrassed, and I see Lisa laughing at me up top because she knows what's coming, because I didn't even know what a node was. I was making node jokes like I don't even know what that is, just to try to make up so they wouldn't ask me other questions. I was trying to disguise it with humor. I didn't know what a node was. I didn't know what blockchain was. I said, but if you're asking me to jump on your private jet, fly and meet with some billionaires just to learn, I'm a sponge. I sat in the back of the room everywhere we went, hoping praying no one would ask me a question or assuming I knew something, and I got fire hosed with information. I had more questions when I left than when I first got there. But I did learn enough to know, hey, I want some of these nodes, this software, because if it does what I think it has the potential, if I looked at Gala Games and go, man, if I was in the beginning of Gala, if it's a bunch of gamers, and it started out and I had some Gala nodes, and the rewards went from hardly nothing, 0.00 whatever of a penny, but yet it went to 80 some cents, that would have been pretty powerful. And I met people in the room that did do that. So I got these nodes over the next few months. I watched the rewards start to come in, and then I started hearing about it more and more and more. So I'm going to show you a few slides, give you some of what I saw, what I'm seeing, and what's happened over the last 6 weeks. My vision is so big. I've never been excited as I am right now, and that's not hype. I don't even like saying that because we're so used to being hyped, but I can't sleep. You can tell my voice is barely hanging on. I've never felt an obligation to go, everyone I know, love, and care about, I want to know about this. I don't care if they do it or not. I do not like people pressuring me. I'm not going to pressure anyone else. So all I want to do, because a friend of mine several years ago, I've never forgotten it, said, Darren, I want to smack you. And I'm like, why now, Vicky? Right? What's new? Because they're good friends. She goes, why didn't you call me when you first joined that company where you made multiple seven figures? Well, because I didn't think it would be right for you, Vicky. I didn't think you'd be interested. She goes, Darren, we were praying for something. We were looking for something. If you would have offered it to me and I said no, then it's on me, but you didn't even give me the opportunity to say no. So I've never forgotten that. So in the last 6 weeks, I've been trying to tell everybody I possibly can. And what's happened is I've seen a lot. I just had a 6 weeks that I've never had, almost my biggest month in my entire career. And I just turned 51. And that's just in commissions. That didn't count the millions of rewards that added up that I will share with you in just a second. So let's talk about and get into the slide presentation. All right, let me just see if I can share my screen. All right, now let's see. Fred, can you see that okay? Let me just make sure. All right, Becky, can you see it okay? I can see you, thumbs up. All right, good stuff. Now, Tony told me, a mentor of his told him this. He said, listen, there's three things you need to remember when you're looking for the next business venture, when you're looking for that next trend. Number one, you have to be in the right place at the right time. How many of us have been in the right place at the right time? But number two, you have to recognize that you're in the right place at the right time. There's been times I've been in the right place at the right time, didn't recognize it, didn't do me any good. So you have to be in the right place at the right time, know you're in the right place at the right time, and take immediate, massive action. Those three things. And that's why Tony has had so much success. So let's talk about connect. Now, if you look at the internet, when the internet first came out, and I'm going to stop sharing for just a second because I want to see you as I talk about this. The internet, none of us knew what the internet was. How many of you remember that? A lot of you are a lot older than me. That's a joke. Okay. We remember what the internet was. They came out and we're like, what is this magical thing called the internet? Well, it transfers information immediately, instantaneously. We're like, well, really? You mean I don't have to sit in front of my TV with my 3 channels and rotate the antenna and wait for the weatherman to come on and tell me what the weather's going to be? No, you can jump on the internet and know what it's going to be in Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Australia, anywhere in the world immediately. You can look at stock prices. You can look at all game scores, UFC fights, whatever it is. But when it first came out, we're like, how do we get on this magical thing called the internet? None of us knew. Who owns the internet? No one owns the internet. It's a highway of information. But then here comes AOL. What did they send in the mail to every one of us 52 times? A CD, a little CD. And you put the CD in and boom, there's your on-ramp for the internet. We're now on the internet. Well, the blockchain transfers information, value. On the blockchain, not only is it more secure, but if I was going to transfer, let's say to Lisa, $100,000, we're going to have to go wire money. I need her bank account. We need to make sure it's not the weekend. There's all kinds of crazy things we need to go through. But on the blockchain, I can transfer money over her immediately. No, Lisa, we're not going to test it. Don't worry. And she can have it within seconds. So when you look at the blockchain, when people go, hey, listen, what is the blockchain? Now we're going to go back to the screen. As long as I can figure out how to work that. Hold on one second. The hardest part of this is just figuring out how to, hold on one second, technology. And I always turn my heat off, AC off, when I get into my office and I start doing a presentation, and then I end up regretting it because I get so hot. All right, Fred, can you see that okay? Yes. All right, here we go. So what is the blockchain? You're going to see that we have many projects. Right now, there's about 15 different projects. We're using blockchain technology for these projects. And when you look at the internet, we distribute information. The blockchain, Uber, what did they use? They used other people's cars. If you look at Airbnb, they used other people's homes. When it comes to the blockchain, they use other people's computing power. When our family was approached by one of the cell phone companies, and they go, hey, listen, we can't buy land all over the world. It doesn't make sense. But if you will allow us to use a piece of your land, and we did, by the way, because they paid us a lot of money to be able to put their cell phone tower, so then all of their towers connect. And when you look at the blockchain, you're using hundreds and thousands of millions of computers all over to create and to do these transactions. Now, the blockchain is a technology upon which cryptocurrency is built. This is important. We say, man, I wish I was on the internet. I wish I was in front of all of these things. We know the people that saw the internet. It was Jeff Bezos. It was Zuckerberg. It was Elon Musk. All of those people, we know those names. That ship is gone. It's past. But here you have a technology that's adopted faster than any technology in history. And it's impacting virtually every industry in the world. Here's an article that I have from the World Economic Forum that says blockchain could disrupt $867 trillion in traditional markets. $867 trillion. It's now over 420 million cryptocurrency owners worldwide. Crypto is a far better way to transfer values than a piece of paper, that's for sure. Elon Musk. Think about it. Our grandchildren will never know what it's like to use paper for money. They're going to go, Grandma, Grandpa, you used to use money for paper? I mean, paper for money? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. It will sound extremely weird to them because we know we're going to digital currency. That's why when I'm watching all these videos, now we're hearing about the digital gold rush. Now, how do you participate? This is important. How many of us have been in other things where you're like, hey, listen, I would love to have the ability and the potential to generate additional revenue, but yet you're going to have to go out, you're going to have to sell, you're going to have to inventory, you're going to have to do all these different things. Where here, if you would like, you can become a node owner. You're going to purchase software, and you don't even have to, you can host it on your computer if you would like, but I didn't want to have to worry about my computer not going to sleep and being active for 6 hours a day. So we have a company, when you're in your back office, you'll see called BlockFabric. You can host your nodes on the cloud for $4.95 a month, right? So you could be a node owner, or you can help other people become node owners. It's really that simple. We'll get more into depth in just a second. So we talked about what is a node. Here's an example of the cell phone tower using other people's computing power. And then, by the way, if you read the article talking about that blockchain will disrupt $867 trillion in traditional businesses, everything is going toward rewards and tokenization. So if you're at the airport and you're going to get an Uber, and it goes, okay, well, here's Lori. She's going to get an Uber. Does she want an SUV? Where is she going? What's the route? How is she going to pay? There's all these transactions that are handled by all these computers. When you're a node owner on the blockchain and your nodes are handling transactions, you're generating rewards that have the potential. At first, it's like monopoly money. It's worth virtually nothing. Like I was looking at mine one day, and my biggest reward day was big. Like back at the end of last month, 1.25 million rewards for one day. And when I looked it up, I'm like, okay, if it's worth 0.0015 for the day, that was 2,000 some dollars for the day. I go, but what if that 500x like Gala Nodes did back in the day? What if this project 500 to 100x? So the potential is there. But when you look at getting rewards and proof of action, for doing the right behaviors. When I went to the gas pumps the other day and I go, you know what? I have the money to put gas in my car, but I want to use my American Airlines card because I want to generate rewards that I can turn into money to fly my wife and I to Hawaii. When you look at this page, I want to encourage you, you can screenshot it. You can pause this if you're watching the replay. And this talks about, look, I'm not a financial advisor, right? These are high risk, high reward projects. We're going to talk about things that are not happened yet, but they're going to happen. And so when you look at these things, I tell people, look, get educated. There's no guarantee in anything, but I want you to make sure that you pause and you read that or screenshot it. Our legal team. If you look at our legal team, let me just point out one person on the legal team, Ken Cuccinelli. He was the former attorney general for the state of Virginia. If you Google him, he was the head of Secretary of Defense or something for our country through 2019 to, I believe, 2021. So we have a powerful legal team. Now, let's just talk about a few of the different projects. Because remember, the blockchain is the highway. Connect Our Community, our sales and marketing platform, is the on-ramp. Like AOL used the CD, we have our Connect Community. And when you're looking at these 12 to 15 projects that are already in place, you can see these are real world projects. So Galvin is a project that aims to solve problems in the healthcare globally and promote health and wellness through innovating technologies. There's an app that I have on my phone that rewards me for taking steps every day, the Galvin app. It rewards me for having heart minutes. I can speak into this app, and there's 2,500 AI biomarkers that when I speak for like 20 seconds, you cannot fake it. I've tried. It will tell you your mood, your energy, your mood, your energy, and it's one more thing, right? And then it gives you recommendations on what to do to improve those things. Then not only that, they're working on getting our medical records on the blockchain. Right now, we don't own our medical records. The doctor's office owns them, the hospital owns them. But what if you were able to go to the doctor and you give them a link that gives them access to all your medical records? But when you're done, you press a button, the link is withdrawn. They no longer have access to your medical records. So there's a lot more to this project. We sat there for an hour to 2 hours of them showing what this project is all about. Now, when you look at Grow, I was just out in Puerto Rico, had lunch with Will and their farms. There was a farm 7 minutes from us. We don't know where our food's coming from. This is just one aspect of Grow. Okay, remember, it was an hour, 2 hour presentation on everything they're doing. And when they're like, look, we don't know where our food is coming from. There's 10 conglomerates that actually control our food. Some of our chicken goes all the way to China to be processed and back. And so what if you sat down to eat and you scanned a QR code and this tracing, they have what they call the farm tracer. I think it's what they call it. Yeah, farm tracers right there on the QR code. And what if it says, look, this beef came from a farm in Omaha. It was fed this many pounds of grass, this many pounds of fresh olives for that fresh smoky flavor. There were no antibiotics used. It was free range. It was organic. You knew exactly where your food was coming from. And then the farmer's getting carbon credits. So when you start looking at all these projects and when you have a Grow node, and I look at my rewards that are coming in daily, and I'm like, you mean I'm here, I can go 7 minutes away and I can use my rewards to get produce and beef and all that great stuff that the next couple of weeks they're going to start shipping? That's another project, Grow. You look at Element. Okay, this guy may look familiar. He was on the Discovery Channel with Jungle Gold. And when he found out there was a lot of terrible things that were happening in the mining world. There's a reason that Tiffany's, when we were over in Puerto Rico at Wright's house, and he pulls out their number 7 most expensive diamond that they have, because when he found out, look, in mining, they use children, and we see, maybe seen the movie Blood Diamonds. There's all these crazy things that are happening, what they do to the ground and the earth, and they don't repair it. And so this is about ethical mining. So what they did is they started certificates that when you purchased your diamond or whatever, it would say, look, no children were used in mining this gold or creating this, but people can fake a certificate, but you can't fake the blockchain. So this element on the blockchain, why did he have Tiffany's diamond? Then I got a picture of my wife's finger and it's as big as her finger, because they want to put their stuff on the blockchain. So you know exactly what happened with the mining of those diamonds. Switch. When I was able to meet Kathy out in Utah, she's the CEO of Switch Reward Card. Kathy is a pioneer in the consumer credit card industry. How many of you have heard of Discover Card? She was the co-founder of Discover. She served as the president and chief operations officer of Discover Bank from 2000 to 2006. So the Switch platform is going to allow, how many of you understand HTML, how the internet works and all of that? None of us probably, not very few of us. However, we jump on and we use it. All I know is we jump on, we click a button and we're on here tonight. Well, this is going to allow people basically to do banking online, thinking that grandma can go into the grocery store, swipe a debit card, and it immediately converts crypto into USD. So that's another phenomenal project. All right, now let's look at Revo Rides. Revo Rides is basically going head to head with Uber. Okay, might as well just say it like that. Uber in February, I think it was Valentine's Day, went on strike. They're tired of them messing with their money. When you decentralize a company and you put it on the blockchain, it means there's no owner. We are the owners, one node, one vote. So imagine now you're at the airport and Becky says, I need an Uber. It's $50 for Uber, but it's $45 for Rev Rides. And she clicks a button. Well, I need tokens. She can convert her Grow token. She can convert her Win tokens, whatever it is, and use those to get the ride. She gets rewarded for using Rev Rides. The driver gets rewarded for driving for Rev Rides. Becky rates the driver. She gets rewarded. They're, again, rewarding the right behavior. Then the driver rates Becky. And then, so what happens is the decentralized Rev Rides is cheaper to use. You're earning rewards that you can use to pay for your rides. And we're already testing this. They're testing it in Miami, and I think they just launched a couple other cities. And Tony and Paul Michael are the ones heading up that project. What does Tony know about rideshare? He launched a delivery company. Delivery company, you need a restaurant, you need a driver, you need a customer. Here, all you need is a driver and a customer. So he's very familiar with that model because he built an Inc. 500 company that merged with Delivery.com. He's the #1 franchisee in the world for that right now. So this project is getting ready to release. It's being tested, and it's going extremely well. This is the next project. I'm going to be the CEO. It's called Rally. Tonight, if we jumped on here, really none of you care what platform we use. If I'd have sent you a Google Meeting link or a Microsoft Team link, none of us really care. But I go, what if we have a decentralized platform that is completely secure? We met with the CEO of $1 billion bank the other day going, listen, that is important to me. So you mean to tell me you could put this on the blockchain and they use language that's not familiar with me, but it's a lot more secure than other platforms. And you're getting rewards by being on this platform, which those tokens, if we have millions of subscribers, could end up being a lot. So when we launch this platform, I can actually say, hey, listen, everybody put your wallet in the chat, your crypto wallet. I'm going to give everybody some free tokens for being on here tonight. No entrepreneur would ever want to use any other platform again if you're earning rewards for being on a platform. And if you're a node owner, then you actually are an owner of that platform. You can imagine being an owner of Zoom, and then every time you jump on a Zoom, you're earning rewards. You're never going to use it in the rewards that you generate. If you want to have a free plan like Zoom has, you can have that. But if you want to upgrade, have more bells and whistles, then you can actually use rewards to pay for your monthly fee. So we're going to launch that. And what's crazy is people are trying to, we had to tell them, look, pause. We're in pre-sell. We're going to have a page up for Rev Rides and for Rally. We hadn't even launched those yet. So here's how it starts. And I'm going to show you exactly how to put this into action here now. Just making sure I didn't miss anything that I want to tell you real quick. It starts for free. The person that invited you, if you go back to them, they're going to go into their Connect account. They're going to go under Team, and there's a share button. It says copy link. They're going to send that to you, and then you're going to be able to look at videos on the projects I mentioned, except for the 2 that were in pre-launch, and much more. What is a node, Connect Community, Switch, Galvin, Grow, Element, all of those. On top of that, you're going to be able to purchase nodes. So with me, here's what I believe in it with everything that we're doing. I bought all of my adult kids nodes because I'm like, look, they're not going to go out and promote it. They're not going to sell it. But if they can have a node, and I talked to people that had Gala, games, their nodes, and over a several year period, they started generating rewards, and the project took off, went to 80 some cents, and some of those people earned over $1 million for one $2,000 or $2,500 node, whatever it was at that time. Now, there's no guarantee, right? Projects can go to zero, but here's what I know: these are not meme coins. These are not projects that have no value. These are projects that are affecting the food that you eat and your health and your family's health. The Galvin app, the mental health app. Not only that, your medical records and everything they're doing with that community. So when you look at the different projects, they have the ability to not only impact you, your family, your community, but the world. They have real world value, proof of action, revenue generating activities, things that you will want to be a part of, even if you're not a part of promoting the nodes. So what you can do, here's how the nodes work. The Win node is the node. Let me back up a second. All of the nodes except for Win, there's only 100,000 nodes. They start out around $2,000, $2,500. Every time there's 100 sold, they go up $100. And they max out at 25,000 a node. Gala, right now, you cannot purchase a node. If you do, you have to go find someone that wants to sell it. You're probably going to make pay for $125,000 for that node if you can find someone that will sell it, because they're still generating rewards. That platform is still generating. I don't know if they traded 400 million today or whatever it was. That's a gaming, a node and system. The way that Win works, it is the foundational node for the Connect platform that is the sales and marketing platform. This is important, and I'm trying to slow down and make sure I explain this correctly. When you buy on a Win node that's normally $2,000, right now there's a promotion. When you go to buy nodes in your free Connect account, if you choose to do that, you go to Win. When you hit 1 or 2, up to 5, there's going to be up to 5 coupons that are $1,500 off. So instead of $2,000 a piece, they're $500 a piece. You will not see that coupon until you put a number by the Win node, 1 up to 5. Then you will see to the right of it, apply. Click apply, and it will apply the $1,500 coupon. Now here's what's awesome. All the other nodes, once you purchase them, you never renew. They're yours forever. The Win node, it has to renew, because if we only had 100,000 people that could participate and one person buys 1,000, it can be really quick where there's no nodes or no rewards left. So this one renews yearly. You can use your rewards to renew your node. When you purchase a node, if you don't purchase a node, there's a free educational platform called Learn to Earn. But if you do have your node active, you will earn rewards for going through those training and those courses. And just that alone, you will earn enough rewards to pay for your node on a yearly basis. So for me, why did I buy all my adult kids nodes? I'm like, you mean to tell me that it's normally $2,000? I could buy all of my adult children nodes, and then they don't have to go out and sell or market or any of those things. But as long as their node is active in the cloud, that's $4.95 a month per node, they can generate rewards that have the potential to turned into quite a bit. If it did like Gala, that went up to 80 some cents. There's no guarantee. May go at zero. But what happened, my 25-year-old started seeing his rewards come in. And so he's now up to, he's purchased 10 different nodes. In one day, he had 200,000 rewards just in one day. Okay, so that Win node is a foundational node. When you can buy things in the Connect community, you can buy other nodes, you can renew your nodes. When we launch our decentralized social media platform, you can even take your rewards and pay for ads and all kinds of great stuff. So that is a really powerful node, and it's a great one to get started with. And not only that, and again, I'm trying to fight to keep this as simple as possible because I know how I felt. But when you look at how the rewards are shared daily, they give you action points. So every time a Win node is sold in the community, it releases a certain amount of rewards. Then you get a share of those rewards. I'm not going to go through this slide, but it tells you how you earn action points. If you do this, it's 1/7 of a point. If you do this, it's 1/365th of a point. If you own a Win node, that's one entire point. If you have a total of 5 Win nodes, you have 5 points, but you get a bonus point for operating 5. So the Win node is like a multiplier when it comes to your rewards. So I know I've got Lucas Carnes on here. He first got started. He went out and he sold someone 5 nodes right off the bat. He had at least 5 Win nodes himself. And I was looking at, he was sending me screenshots of his rewards on a daily basis. There was another person had 1 Win node. They sold 5 nodes. They both were what they call block bot. So they went from 10% commission to 20% commission. But yet his rewards were about 10 times what this other person's were. And I'm like, how is that? Like, why is that happening? But then when I looked at this slide, I figured it out. I'm like, that's why it's happening, because he has at least 5 Win nodes. He got 5 points plus a bonus point for operating 5. So he has 6 total points. The other person has 1 point. And in the scheme of things, the way you earn points, that's like NOS on a race car, right? When they press that nitrous oxide, that button, that NOS, it gives it that extra power. That's the way I look at the Win node. Now, you can partner with us on the different projects. We have a total sales payout of about 70%, which is huge. This is the article that I mentioned to you, the World Economic Forum, $867 trillion in traditional markets. So what you do is you get your free account, you complete your compliance training, which they're very particular about. They want to make sure we do everything that's compliant. You purchase your Win node, okay, or multiple Win nodes up to 5 with the $15 coupon promotion that's going right now. And then our goal is to help you go out and sell 5 nodes as fast as you can. And you go, why would you do that? Because it doubles your commission. So let's just recap real quick. Here's what we went over tonight. They don't teach us how to recognize an opportunity in school. But when Tony said, Darren, my mentor taught me, number one, you have to be in the right place the right time. You have to know you're in the right place the right time. And you have to take immediate, massive action. Vision is seeing it before the masses see it. When they said opportunities go through 3 phases, ridicule, then opposed, then self-evident, only 3% get involved in the first 2 most profitable phases, which is ridiculed and opposed. Then we're saying, okay, blockchain, less than 5% of the people know about blockchain, but it's growing faster than the internet did in 1996. And less than 5% of the people know about it. So we have a technology that's being adopted faster than any technology in history. We sit here today. Most of our friends don't know about it. If they know about it, they don't understand it. Then you look at the perfect storm of the Bitcoin halving that's coming up in April. That's next month. We're almost there. We're a month away. And what that means, go back and look and Google what happens every time there's a Bitcoin halving. There's no guarantee, but there's like a 12 to 18 month just run. It just had an all-time high, $70-some thousand. It had $1 trillion market cap. You have people that are coming on board like BlackRock and Fidelity. I got a financial advisor friend of mine said, Darren, we're now recommending people have a certain percentage of their folio in crypto. right? So you have the Bitcoin halving, you have the ETFs. I didn't even know what an ETF was. And I'm like, man, what is the ETF, the Bitcoin ETF? Well, go Google it. It was bigger than the gold ETFs. So you have that coming on board. You have people now that we found out, even with just Bitcoin, ridiculed and opposed, that were bashing Bitcoin. And now we find out that they were doing it intentionally, trying to drive the price down so they could get more of it because there's only 21 million Bitcoin ever going to be in the marketplace. There's already 19 million that are circulating. 15 million people are hodling, which means they're not letting them go. And so that's why they're doing everything they can to get people to sell. And here you have 12 to 15 different projects. Ethereum has 600. Our goal is 1,000. We've had 500 billion transactions on our blockchain projects. There's 10 million users right now in our community. And yet their goal is 1 billion in the next 12 months. And we sit here tonight going, how do we participate? Number one, you get a free account. Number two, you can watch videos, click share, look at the videos of the different projects. Number three, decide, look, do I want to be a node owner? Just purchase those nodes, let them generate rewards, host them on the cloud. Do I want to do that? Right? I had someone today that said, hey, how do I figure out like what this is? And I'm like, click on this, click on that. And she texted me a screenshot. She had 1.1 million rewards, just letting her nodes go. And she goes, how do I figure out what that's worth? I go, well, right now it's not worth a whole lot. But what if it went to $1 a reward? Okay, what if it did? I don't know, maybe go to zero. She goes, oh my gosh, now I understand. So when you see crypto, when you see blockchain, once you mention this to people, here's the fascinating thing is the reticular activating system. You never noticed how many cars are on the road like the one you're driving until you bought it. They were there before. But our brain is designed to block most of the things out and only allow in what serves us and our goals. You see what you're looking for. Even if you mention to people, if I talk to people and they go, hey, I don't know what that is. Yes, that's a blessing. Hey, I don't understand it. Yes, that's a blessing. I don't think that would be for me. Yes, that's a blessing. Because when they all know what it is, they all understand it, the opportunity is not going to be what it is. So when we have all of these things that are working in our favor, in the reticular activating system, now they turn on the news, Bitcoin, crypto. I was watching Mission Impossible the other night. Now we're so tired, it took us like 10 nights to get through a whole movie, but they're on the train and he's going to transfer $100 million and he turns his phone and it says blockchain encrypted. I'm like, cha-ching, reticular activating system. We're watching Blacklist one night and all of a sudden they're talking about crypto and transferring, a money and doing all these things with Bitcoin. So once you plant the seed, then the media is going to do the work for you. And all you have to do is let them know. The people that are getting involved in these projects, today I was on a Zoom that would blow your mind. They were people that most people will never get to meet. And not, if I said they were excited, that's a massive understatement. And I'm going to end with this. I know we've gone longer than I wanted to, but guess what? You're rock stars. You're hanging on here. And if you're getting value, that's the whole thing. I want you to get enough to make an educated decision to make a move. Where was I going with that? Okay. Squirrel, right? Squirrel. Oh, so the people that are coming on board, when Dr. Fab Mancini has me speak at his mastermind, and I was getting Tony as a guest speaker, and we're going to talk about his accounting firm. But that week, the government decided that ERC was going to stop with the COVID relief. And so we're like, what are we going to talk about? And Tony's like, well, I can mention blockchain. So in this room, normally are people like Les Brown, the #1 motivational speaker in the world, Mark Victor Hansen, Chicken Soup for the Soul, John Astroff from The Secret, Dr. Amen, #1 brain health expert in the world. Dr. Fab Mancini is the next Dr. Phil, right? Well respected, well loved, in the room, the founder of Teladoc, normally $32 billion company. Another guy, solar company, Inc. 500 company. Tony talks about blockchain for 5 minutes. It's the hit of the entire event. People are flocking to him. They're flying to Puerto Rico to meet with him, going, we've been looking at blockchain, wanting to take our companies on the blockchain. People understand what's happening. It's the biggest disruption in financial history, and we get to be a part of it. So thank you for joining. Get back to the person that invited you. Get your free account while it's fresh on your mind. Watch the videos. If you want to purchase nodes, go to buy nodes, go down to the nodes, start entering for the win while that promotion is going. Press the number that you want beside it, apply the coupons. When you go to the next page, it will allow you to purchase with a credit card. Okay. If the person that invited you can help you set all that stuff up. And then if you like what you see, I want to go out and share this with everyone I know, love, and care about. I don't care if they do it or not. That's not the point. I don't want them coming back to me going, if you knew, why didn't you tell me? So appreciate you joining. Have an awesome rest of your night. Look forward to hopefully hearing about you purchasing a node, generating rewards. And if you love what you see, we'd love to work with you as well. Thanks so much, everybody.